Let's take a look at using biometrics. On my laptop, I've got a fingerprint scanner with the software installed. Right-clicking the icon in the system tray, I can use Edit Fingerprints to work with the scanner. When starting up a biometric system, the initial process is called enrollment. It's going to record my fingerprint and then use that for future authentication. We'll click Next. My username's typed in, and I type in my password. It's identifying that I am who I say I am. After identification, it will enroll my fingerprint and use that to authenticate me later. Okay, now it's time for me to enroll my fingerprint. It's telling me how to properly swipe my finger across the fingerprint reader. I can run an interactive tutorial if I want. I'll skip that. So I'll click a finger here for the first finger. It's telling me now to swipe, so I'll go ahead and swipe my finger. And it wants me to swipe it again, and a third time. Notice I can use up to 10 different fingers or digits, 10 different fingerprints for authentication purposes, and there are up to 20 slots left. I'll just stick with the initial fingerprint here. Now they're recommending you enroll at least 2 fingerprints just in case it has problems detecting one of the fingerprints. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll use my middle finger. I'll roll that one 3 times. And I'm done, and I'll click Next. It's warning me here that I've got a backup mechanism. I can back up the password to bypass the finger authentication mechanism. So if the finger authentication device, if the scanner stopped working, I can still get into the system. But it's saying if you want to do this, use a long, complex password. So enable backup password, which will be used in case the security device isn't working. And enrollment's complete. I can right-click the icon in the system tray here and start the control center to enroll or edit current fingerprints. I can also configure some settings. System settings are overall settings. One of the first things I'll see here is that I can log on with my fingerprint. The default is to allow this to bypass logon using the Windows passwords. The password is not required. Or I can uncheck this box, still have fingerprint logon, but I'll still be required to type in the password. Or I can turn off the ability to use my fingerprint to log on. Let's also take a look at user settings. Notice to get in here, I have to swipe my finger, requiring authentication or my user settings. I can go to Applications, and this is a cool feature. I can add in an application that will launch when I swipe a finger. I'll configure Firefox to launch with my finger swipe. For the application title, I'll call it Firefox. OK, and I'll click OK. I'll go ahead and close out of the Fingerprint Control Center. Now watch the mouse here. I'm not clicking anywhere. I'm not going to type anything in. I'm just going to swipe my finger. And Firefox loads. So biometrics don't have to be used just for authentication. You can use it to automate all sorts of things. And that's an overview then of using a biometric fingerprint scanner.